What's going on, guys? AJ Bunch back here with another YouTube video. Today we're going to touch on the hotly debated topic of what oils should you be using in your legend car. So I'm going to touch on what motor oil, what gear oil, what grease, what brake fluid, the oil filters and stuff that we run, and I'll touch on what we ran in the 1250 as opposed to how it differs from the Z09. So this is a very hotly debated topic across all the legends world and racing in general. So I always see people posting, what oil should I be running? What gear oil should I be running? So hopefully this video helps everybody who's asking that question, or if you're just looking for something that's more readily available to you and you don't have to order it and wait days on end for it to show up. And hopefully this will help you be able to get some stuff that's easier to come by. So there's a lot of good products out there, and you really can't go wrong, especially in racing. If you're changing your stuff every 1 to 3 nights, it really shouldn't matter what brand of oil you run. So we're just going to touch on a couple different brands that we've used. I am not associated with any brand of oil company or anything. It's just kind of some stuff that we like, something that we can get pretty easily, and we'll go from there. So first, we'll touch on motor oil. All right, so first we'll touch on the 1250 stuff. I know when we had our 1250, we used a couple different brands, which we went off of what Hank Scott recommended. He was the guy who built our 1250. He's the guy to go to if you're in the 1250 game. We ran his remote system, so I want to say it was around 4.5, 5 quarts by the time you filled the oil filter and got everything primed and ready to go. We used the VR1 40W, which is super high quality oil. It's a lot more readily available than the Schaefer's stuff that I'm going to talk about in a second. Valvoline has been around the game a long time. They're in racing on a ton of different cars throughout NASCAR, dirt late models. I mean, they are everywhere you go. VR1 is probably some of the best oil that I've come across, so I have no doubts when I suggest it to you for something that you should be using. So again, if you're in the 1250, Hank recommends 40W for the VR1. If you want to go a little bit more expensive, this is Unicorn Blood. Schaefer's 7000 racing oil, 15W40. It is a little expensive, but every time we changed our oil, in the 1250, this is saying something. It looked brand new every time it came out. I know we're a little bit more proactive on changing our fluids and stuff than some people are, but with how hot the 1250s get, if you can afford to get the Schaefer's oil, I promise you, you're going to have a lot longer engine life than if you're using other products. Not that other products are bad, but if you can afford the Schaefer's oil, there's a reason why they call it Unicorn Blood and why people in the 1250 market swear by it. The oil filter we were using in the 1250 was either the K&N filter that Hank suggests. I don't know that part number off the top of my head. I don't have any more here. Or the Wix racing filter, which was the 51515R, I believe. You can check Just Legends and cross-reference that part number if you want to, but I'm fairly confident that's what the part number was. Those two oil filters were high-quality stuff, and with us running the remote oil system, we didn't really have to worry about a rock flying up and puncturing the oil filter. So that was just one less thing we had to worry about. So we'll move over to the FC. You're going to want to run 10W40 motorcycle oil. That's what Yamaha suggests. That's what NX suggests. So I got 3 different brands here. We have the Z-Max, which is NX's product. Obviously, they're going to promote their product, but if you don't want to order it from them, I haven't seen it in many places up here in Michigan. It may be different down in North Carolina and Georgia and Florida and stuff like that, but it's not in my parts stores from what I can tell. So I have to outsource it when I order it. If you're looking for something that's more readily available, this Valvoline motorcycle 4-stroke 10W40 is everywhere. This stuff is a great price. This quart right here was $9.50 at our parts store, and I use this stuff, and it's super high quality oil. Like you said, when I was talking about the 1250 VR1, the Valvoline has been around a long time, and they make super high quality products. So I have no problem trusting this product in my engines and cars and everything that we do that requires oil. If you're looking for something that's on the higher end, this AMSOIL stuff, I will say we've ran it in this motor with me, and I drained it after a practice day and a race day, and this stuff looked brand new coming out. So if you're wanting to spend a little bit more money, this AMSOIL stuff is super great. It's the metric 10W40. Really, if you're 10W40 motorcycle oil, a lot of people use the Mobil 1 Racing 4T. That's also another super high quality oil, but realistically, if you're changing your oil every 1 to 3 nights, complete change, you're not gonna have any issues. It's when you let it go 4 to 6 races at the maximum is what I would let it go. That's what a lot of the engine builders and stuff will say too. I know these FZ motors don't get as hot, but still, you want to keep up on your fluids so you don't have to send your motor back to US Legends and wait for it to come back. So the oil filter we use is the K&N oil filter. Again, super high quality filter. I don't really have to worry about a rock bouncing up and puncturing it, knock on wood. But that is the KN 204-1. So most of your parts stores should have that, and if they don't, they'll have something that's pretty equivalent to it. And like I said, we use the K&N or the Wix filter, and I know Mobil 1 makes a filter, and obviously Yamaha makes a filter. So I will say, support your local parts stores. I know you can outsource all this stuff, but your local parts stores are the mom and pop shops who are going to be there for you in a pinch if you ever need something. You say you run out of oil the night before the race, or you run out of gear oil right the night before the race. They're going to be the ones who are open, and the ones you don't have to spend a crap ton of money to next day ship stuff. So please support your local businesses. I know up here we support Auto Value or a couple of our other local parts stores, but I think my last resort is to order stuff like off Amazon when it comes to this stuff, or just the manufacturer's websites. So next, we're going to talk about gear oil, and I have a couple different ways that you can save a little bit of money when it comes to gear oil, so I'll touch on those in a second. Alright, so your gear oil, the weight you want to run is 75W90. It really doesn't matter what brand you use. A lot of times I go with whatever is cheapest, synthetic. One tip for you is to get these plastic flexible fill things. What we do is we buy one of these and then we fill it up with the regular containers or the gallon jugs. Right now, I think you can get a gallon jug of this Valvoline stuff, which is super high quality. We've used it the last 3 years when we didn't have the AMSOIL stuff. Really, I only started using the AMSOIL stuff this year. So you can get a gallon of the 75W90 Valvoline stuff for, I want to say, $45 right now, which that'll get you 5-ish, in quotation marks, gear oil refills and whatnot. So what you do is you just save these pouches, the ones that come in these pouches, and the bundles are a little bit pricey. I know this one right here was $17. So I personally recommend the Valvoline stuff. Like I said, we've been running it the last 3 years and had no issues with it. If you want to go the AMSOIL route, I know Go sells it, or most of your local parts stores will sell the AMSOIL stuff, just because they were the first ones that I know of that came out with the flexi fill thing. And that really has saved us a lot of time when it comes to not having to get a funnel or worrying about the panhard bar, and these things can be a little bit in the way when you're going to fill your gear oil up. So that's kind of just the route we go. Really, any brand you go, I know a lot of people use the Lucas Oil stuff, which is super high quality. Mobil One, you really can't go wrong with any gear oil as long as it's a good quality name brand. So next we'll talk about the brake fluid and the grease that we run, and then we'll be all finished. Alright, so the brake fluid that we run is the Wilwood EXP 600. This is probably the best stuff on the market when it comes for dealing with heat. In 3 years, I have never boiled the brakes, so that just goes to tell you how good of quality this Wilwood stuff is. With these being Wilwood calipers, I tend to try to use the Wilwood stuff, but like I said, it may be a little bit more expensive. I think it's like $1 or $2 more expensive than like the Wilwood 570, but it's well worth it because you don't really have to ever worry about if you're gonna boil the brakes or not. The grease that we run is just, this specific stuff is the Wolf's Head red grease. You can get pretty much any red grease out there. I know Lucas makes one, Valvoline makes one. It's all personal preference when it comes to brand. So we will normally grease stuff a pump or two here or there every other race just to keep everything fresh and well lubricated so you don't have to worry about friction happening. Obviously you want to have as little amount of friction as possible when it comes to all the moving parts and components on your race car. So hopefully that helped you when it comes to brake cleaner and everything like that. Just whatever's cheap, whatever's on the shelf. Support your local parts stores. Those guys are gonna be the ones who you can build relationships with. If you start going in there buying stuff from them, they may even want to sponsor you. So that's definitely the route I would suggest going. Those guys are the ones who have been in business for years, who will continue to be there for you, form relationships, and you aren't gonna have to spend a ton of money to outsource these products. So hopefully that helps you. Like I said, the brand really doesn't matter when it comes to any of this stuff, as long as you're using the right weight. So for the 1250, the engine oil, either the Schaefer's 15W40 or the VR1 40W, two super high quality oils. The FZ is 10W40 motorcycle oil. With these having wet clutches, you really want to have it be a motorcycle oil, just so you don't have to worry about the clutches, especially these FZs, because they don't have an outside reservoir or anything. So really, you can go with the Valvoline 4-stroke stuff that I showed you, or you can go with the expensive Mobil One 4T racing oil. I know a lot of people use them both, and I don't see anybody having real big issues. So hopefully this helped you. Hopefully this makes it easy. It's all in one place, and you don't have to go digging for information. I did research a lot of this stuff before I made this video, so I'm not just flying by the seat of my pants. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. We had an off week this week. We've needed the rain, so I'm not super mad about it, but we had an off week this week. We'll have an off week next week, and then following that, we'll have our biggest race of the year, $5,000 to win, Whittemore Speedway. If you're not there, you need to make plans to be there, because it's not that often you get to run for $5,000 to win. It's a pretty good payout throughout the field. I believe it's $5,000, $2,000, $1,000, $750, $600. Don't quote me on that, but $5,000 to win. Definitely need to make plans to be there. They're running by all of NX rules, so you don't have to worry about that. Practice day is Friday from 4 to 9 p.m. and then race day is on Saturday. So hopefully I see a lot of you guys there. Definitely come up and say hi if you see me. We definitely had a lot of engagement at Flat Rock, and that was pretty cool just to see that a lot of people are watching these videos, and it makes me want to continue to do them with the amount of people that have been super supportive. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll be back with you guys probably next week with a shop update video of us getting ready for the $5,000 to win race. and we'll go from there. So make sure you guys have a good day, have a good weekend. Hopefully you guys stay safe. Good luck to everybody at Summer Shootout. We'll be watching, tuning in from up here on Flow Racing. So if you don't have Flow or you do have Flow, Summer Shootout's on there. So with that, we're gonna do a couple things to the car here before we head inside, and we'll catch you guys later.